Hello everyone, and thank you Ricardo for your introduction, and many thanks for your invitation in World Shopper. I would like to thank you also José Luis Barbarossa, leader in Norauto, Portugal. It's sincerely a pleasure to talk about the opportunity or need to change your business model when you are an actor of the mobility sector. So let me introduce you to Mobivia Group, CarStudio, and myself very briefly. I'll let you read the figure on the slide, and we'll share with you more the philosophy of the group Mobivia. For over 50 years now, Mobivia Group has been monitoring its environment and listening to its customers in order to provide them with solutions. These solutions aim to be simpler, cleaner, and safer for all drivers, and at the same time, we act to reduce the cost of car maintenance. Our aim is to be the number one choice for as many motorists as possible. This DNA is already very important to reinvent your business model. Currently, Mobivia is a leader in providing multi-brand vehicle servicing in Europe and has become a major actor in mobility. That's why what we are calling the automobilist transition, because we are convinced that the car is promised to a nice future, but it will be used differently. So we have changed our mindset, but also accelerate the rhythm of our transformation. That's why CarStudio was set up in 2016. And CarStudio is the Autotech accelerator for Norauto, Auto5, ATU, Midas, Carter Cash, the major Mobivia's brands. CarStudio is developed around current automotive challenges and supplies a unique and complete innovation platform. Its aim is to help our brands to invent a new UX and anticipate the future of activities. To do this, CarStudio deploys 4 business units, which are incubation and acceleration programs with startup and employees, partnerships, and CarStudio manage also research and development department. I've been managing this business unit for 3 years, and previously I have been Norauto CFO and partner at VID, the corporate venture branch. Based on my financial background and knowledge of the startup ecosystem, I will try to share my personal point of view in the business model in our sector. First of all, when you lead a company and imagine a business model, you take into account the mega trends in order to anticipate what the market, what the consumer will expect in the following years, and sometimes in the following months, and sometimes in the following days. And of course, you listen and listen and listen again about the pain points of your customers and also of your employees. The reciprocity in the intention is very important. I had identified at minimum 4 major societal trends to integrate into our rethinking. First, by 2050, more and more people will live in urban areas. That means 2 things. We will imagine solutions for 2 categories of people: urban ones, who don't own cars or any vehicles, because mobility would be a facility, a commodity. And the other, who still need a personal means of transportation. Governments' policies and regulation could accelerate the rhythm of this trend and implementation of solutions. 2. Connectedness. Thanks to new tech and especially smartphones, you are able to imagine a lot of new services. 3rd, use versus ownerships. Due to new technologies again, your smartphone has become your new vehicle. You can order a taxi, rent a car, book a train ticket, buy a metro subscription, and so on. What is true today for cars will apply to all the accessories for mobility. 4th, search of meaning. Each and every consumer, and especially the new generations, is looking for sense, ethic, transparency in their purchases, and privileges the brands which have a positive impact on the planet, and the brands which communicate on their sustainable programs. Globally, the need of mobility will increase. And even if the COVID crisis has break punctually the trend, I am sure that the mobility would become a basic human right. Let's talk quickly about this sanitary crisis and what will remain in deep and perennial trends. I consider this crisis like a booster of trends identified before. Someone maybe have listened to the new normal phenomenon. New normal is probably a myth. But what I believe is that each customer wants to give more sense in its consumption. That means each business needs to find its societal goal and organize its operation around this new target. For sure, I think everyone shares the conviction that 4 major trends will be accelerated in our sector. First, electrification, after connectivity, automatization, and shared transportation. In this specific context, which look like a revolution around the car and its value chain, we have to stretch to reconsider our business model, because car is becoming a smartphone with wheels. Let me explain what I mean by business model. If you look on Wikipedia, you will find the following definition, and I let you read on the slide. In other terms, the business model is how your organization generates revenues. Of course, sales pop up in the top of mind, but you can find different routes to generate revenues. That's why I will not speak about product innovation, acquisition, geographic expansion, which change few things in your operations of processes. But I will speak about the different means to generate other kind of revenue. Sometimes it's an opportunity. It's the occasion of conquering new blue oceans by proposing a singular experience in order to escape from the competition. But some other time, it's more a defensive position, and you have to compensate the loss of margin due to new complexity, new training, and intermediation. And of course, it depends also on your seniority. For mature company, you have to wonder if your business model is at risk or not, if you can maintain your revenues, and if you have to do a pivot, for example. But for a startup, you have to wonder if your model is aligned with the market, if your solution matches with expectations of consumer, if you could use the available asset, if you could hack an existing asset. Above all, when you are thinking to your business model, you need to be aware of your assets. Because if you are not, others will think of them for you. Remember all the new actors to inspire you of a new business model. Uber, Airbnb, Facebook, Instagram, Netflix, Alibaba don't own any assets. I share with you 5 tracks to transform your business model, which are existing assets, tech, use, co, and road. And we are very, very lucky because in mobility sector, we accumulate all the trends. First, valorize and open or share existing assets to generate new routes of revenue. For example, within Mobivia Group, we can imagine to decide to share know-hows as a spare parts allocation catalog, open the training academy dedicated to the mechanics, or give access to our technical support platform, integrate new customers in our supply. In this question, we ask what are really our know? Why are you efficient with your offer? Or what make your singularity? And don't be afraid to share it, even with your competitors, which can become addicted to your secret sauce. It's the same for the infrastructure or for the data. So we can imagine a lot of revenue due to mutualization or opening of the singular assets. You don't need to change your process or methods, but change of culture and need an IT system very open and built on an API architecture. Let's go to the second track, tech. Think as if you have to generate your sales only online. Tech gives you a super power and let you customize your offer in opposition to produce a mass market product. And you can give them a new added value at a new price. So you have 2 prerequisites. Organization your IT to collect data and build an API system. So with that, you can imagine new services thanks to tech and especially smartphone. You can develop new features like take an appointment online, do quotation online, deliver the order by click and collect, or develop drive like a supermarket. Contactless also by opening only the car trunk. But what I would like just do, it's a warning. Be careful in change of employees' tools. The first reason of failure is a bad management of the transformation of gestures and postures. Don't forget, digital is only a tool. Third track, use. As we saw at the very beginning of this presentation, consumers look for use and no more ownership. That means we have to provide them mobility as a service. and especially car. You can imagine business model which will privilegate rental or subscription or drive experience and of course contactless. And these services will be perceived as having high added value and will have to build customer loyalty to the brand. In order to complete the customer journey, you may have to expand your range of products or even change your activity. Take the example of adaptation to the motorbikes, scooters, or electric vehicles. You have to reimagine all your sales methods because selling a bike or renting a bike is longer than letting the client take on your shelves what they need. Don't forget also to conquer the new car owners. I think to fleet managers, rental operators. That means to change from a B2C business model to a B2B business model. Next track, Co. If you want to provide a high-quality experience to your customer in its mobility journey, you probably can't operate all the job. This context leads to the necessity of partnerships with other actors, corporate and startups. Don't hesitate to co-create, to co-work together in order to intensify partnerships, incubation program, or open innovation program, and develop your ecosystem in order sometimes to co-invest or maybe, why not, to set up a joint venture. It's also a means to accelerate through mutualization of human, tech, or finance resources. After developing your top line, you spare money to develop more applications which have a positive impact on your business model. The last track is the RE for reuse, recycle, relocalize. RE is a major trend after COVID crisis because during 2 months, the consumer has become aware that he could not consume and change his habits. He had also time to clean up his home and start to barter, look for second-hand, and that, in the perspective to have a positive impact on the planet, and of course to spare money. That's why you should have a look to the second-hand or the C2C platform for bartering platform, also for the recycling your product with a second life or integrate waste into new product. Look also to retrofit. It consists in the conversion of your old car into an electric one. And of course, think about relocalization of your production to be able to produce the right quantity and spare transportation and create jobs locally for sure. This trend is very, very important after COVID crisis. In conclusion, the consumer is deeply thinking meanings and sense. In its journey, he wants to consume less, but better. In order to satisfy your customer, you need to broaden your business model. But since you may not be able to do this alone, look for partners willing to join you. Thanks to your existing assets and the tech, you will match the use of your customers about the co and the road trends. Choose, of course, your priority, but you will probably change your business model. And never, never, never think that something magical would happen. Thank you for your attention, and Ricardo, I give you back the micro.